Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is David Palmer, the Leo King, and Craig Skidmore here for Deep Love Tarot. It's a special edition Deep Love Tarot. We're doing this on a Tuesday because what happened today? It is equinox time. It is the sun that has entered into Libra. We are shifting seasons. This is an important time for relationships, too. And I'll know this is a love show. And this for this week of September 22nd through the 27th of 2020. And we are here on highvibe.tv. By the way, Craig did an amazing job because have you checked out the new iOS app that just was released today?
Check it out.
All those graphics look so amazing. And there was actually an update for iPads to be able to do picture-in-picture while you're on your iPad with our app. So make sure that you check it out. Go to highvibe.tv on any of the apps down below. And of course, this is where you get all my exclusive daily video content for astrology and for tarot and for my weekly intuitive and weekly tarot and of course sun signs and deep astrology in its full form. High Vibe is popping right now. We got a lot of stuff that's been going on. Check it out. All different kind of memberships on there. And we have tons of free videos like spiritual dance music. All of them are on there and the app is free. But there's certain content you can access that's free, and then if you want all the exclusive content, you just become a member. You can join through the app stores or go to highvibe.tv, the website, and join from there. Also, ride the waves. Are you riding the waves of all this crazy time right now? Well, my schools are all packaged up into one school. Go to highvibetvschool.com, click on the Ride the Waves package. I am still keeping this package available right now. And this is all my schools, all my astrology schools, tiers 1, 2, and 3. And you get my Love Masterclass, which is amazing. That's 10 classes, 10 courses just in that. And that's about I think some are 4 hours. Some of them are 3 hours and 30, but that's close to 40 hours just in that right there. It's about 90 hours of content, all these schools, and my eCommerce spiritual business class, which teaches you how to really make your mark not only in the world, but also set up your spiritual business and so forth. It's all in one package. Go to highvibetvschool.com. And we are in a Mars Retrograde, so Battle of the Gods, of course, is still available, and you probably want to watch it since we do have Saturn coming direct, and we have Mars squaring Saturn in retrograde, and this is going to be the activation of Battle of the Gods, which will be on the 29th and 30th of this month, the end of this month. And that's at highvibe.tv as well on the paid video section.
Make sure you go there.
Now that I got through all the stuff, Mr. Craig, is the Eagles flying high for you right now? I had little Joe Cocker on TikTok and on Instagram for the promo for this. And you know what? The original sign, the original Scorpio wasn't just a scorpion, it was an eagle originally.
Phoenix rising from the ashes, rising from the ashes. I think we're all rising and thriving. Hopefully y'all are out there thriving. It was a beautiful day here in Southern California, so the tides are turning, so to speak. We're getting the smoke's moving out a little bit. The sun was shining. The birds were out. It's dropped the temperature wise. It's going to be good all around. I think the seasons are changing. Hopefully everybody can mellow out a little bit, even though I know we're going to some crazy fucking times. But we'll just find that happiness. We got to do what we got to do. Times like this, you got to do what you got to do to get that happy dance going, so to speak. Kind of put that smile on your own face when the outside world isn't necessarily doing it for you. You got to find your own power. You got to find your own love. You got to find your own happiness. So.
Well, I just shared that TikTok. Remember, we just did a TikTok, but it was so funny that some guy, it was like, this guy will save 2020, and he was at some ballpark or something, and he was just singing the song that he loved, and he was involving everybody in the audience, and it's like, you got to spread that love, man. And you know what? With Libra, it's all about people. And I think that the reason why Libra is in the opposition of Aries, and that's the start of the astrology chart, is because in our life, sure, we have ourselves, but it's nothing without the people in our lives, and that's our life. Is people, it is our relationships, and it's so important, especially in 2020, because one, you could be in a relationship and it could be, 2020 is already weird. Add if it's a weird relationship. If it's a great relationship, man, it'll make 2020 not even seem like it's weird. Or if you're alone and you're single out there, it could feel like, bleh, But if you find somebody great, it could be like, holy cow.
I know. Well, I'm working my way through September. I said that on the TikTok. The last two Septembers, I got dumped actually on the same day, which is interesting. To say the least.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. Yeah. Well, actually, it was the day that the Aries moved out, And then a year later, the chick that I was dating broke up with me on that same day that she moved out.
And
so it's like,
I think the other chick was a Libra, right?
It's her birthday next week, but they both had Scorpio rising.
Oh.
Ooh, those Scorpio risings, y'all are trouble.
Stay away from those Scorpio risings, Craig.
I know.
That's kind of weird because you are a Scorpio, but you do have that Leo rising, Leo moon. It's some intent. I bet you the love making's good. Just the reactive energy after that, if it doesn't go in the right direction.
Once I can get my back, fixed, I'll fucking be back like a tramp. But it's somewhat limiting. That lower back issues are somewhat debilitating when it comes to love making. I'm just gonna be honest, but it's okay. You gotta make do what you gotta make do.
Well, I don't know why I was thinking about it, but my brother called last night to ask how my jet skis ran, and I was talking to him, and he was like really tired. And I was like, oh, whatever, dog. Like, I forgot what came up, but it reminded me of in Hannibal, the weird like guy. Because I get woken up here at the studios when I wake up, which, by the way, I'm moving out of the studios, it looks like, here in this month.
Woo!
Finally, I know. I was like, because I moved from LA to here and during the coronavirus, so we keep filming, and I felt like, why commute to LA and back to Orange County? I'm going to stay in Orange County. I'm going to move and stay in Orange County. But long story short is, do you remember Hannibal? There was the weird guy with the weird messed up face, and he was in his bed, and he like had his TVs, and his little assistant's name was Cordell.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Cordell like gets, weird at him, and he pushes that old weird looking hello guy into the pit with the pigs that eats him?
Right.
Yes. That's what happened to you for 2 years straight. Like, here, we're just shoving you out, bro. But I'm sure that guy, I forgot his name. I just always remember him being like, Cordell, go fetch my lunch, please. Cordell. And then, long story short is, I'm wondering how I don't know if he actually did get any because his face was mauled. But I'm sure there's like swings. Well, there's got to be something.
Something. Well, everyone in the chat's helping me out. They're saying,
What about in the pool?
The pool, yeah. Standing's good. Yeah. Just,
you have a pool at your house. You just fucking.
I do have a pool at the house.
Pool it.
You know what I mean? Pool, ocean.
Like requirement.
Water,
pool.
shower. But it's got to be cold water. Can't be hot water.
No, I know hot water does. I remember my first time in the pool. San Clemente.
Mine was in Lake Forest.
Okay, so anyway, if you've never watched the show before, we're going to go through all of not only the collective and what's going on astrologically. That's where I give the astrology on the show. And then we're going to do the tarot, of course. And then we, of course, pick your 12 zodiac signs from the what? The high vibe.
The I love gold cup.
The gold cup with all your 12 different zodiac signs in here. And then, of course, we just do the tarot and the love for that. And then we always look at the high. I'm already spilling. Here we go. The high vibe Astro Dice. We got lots of decks. We also have a new deck that was sent to us today. It's True Black. Really nice deck. And
it seems like they hand painted it.
Yeah, like hand painted. And I love the inside. It says, it is only in darkness that we see the stars. Woo! Give me some of that shadow. I feel like there's a lot of shadow going on. So, of course, I got the shadow deck in the middle today. We did pull a card for Craig, actually, if you watch Instagram or TikTok. Mm-hmm. And he did pull the Parasite card. Wonderful. Sounds great.
There were lots of parasites in me.
Don't you worry, though, Craig. Every card in this deck is pretty much like a... Gosh, man. That's why I love this deck. I actually like the decks that give you all the weird crap, Like, give me something a little... Like, make it a little bit edgy. But you know what? So we're gonna be. There's a lot of decks here, but we're gonna do our typical order. And if we get to 1,000 people, which we always have, I don't think we've gone to not doing a 1,000 collective. What do we call that again? The 1K collective reading.
Yeah,
we're at 500 people right now, so people gotta step it up, get that share going. We're only halfway there. So very strange.
strange.
Maybe they're used to Mondays. I don't know. This is weird for us to do Tuesday. So let's just go into this collective reading right now and let's get this thing going.
All right.
Let's get it going. By the way, do I look fallish? It's fall today. I tried to look like fallish. Well, maybe people in the chat. I don't know. Fall. I'll get my jewel out. Do I look more fall now? So people think I'm married still or something, fucking because I wear this on my marriage ring finger. But I'm married to the Knights Templar.
He just likes to bling bling.
And the fleur-de-lis, and don't forget my little pinky Leo ring. All right, collective. So this week is a big week. The sun has made it to Libra. This is the equinox period. We are shifting seasons. We have shifted into a cardinal sign, Libra. And we do want to look at what this next 6 months offers from Libra, because it is a cardinal point and it is the opposite point of the 0 point of astrology, which is 0 Aries. And so we've made it halfway through the year. Yes, that's right. If you're following the normal calendar system, I recommend that you throw it out the window unless you get the cool high vibe one we're working on. That's going to be like mixing the real calendar with the outdated Gregorian calendar. But I just want to say that this is an important moment for you in your life. Relationships are a big deal with Venus being in Leo and this mutual reception going on, right? The sun is ruled by Leo, it's in Libra, and Venus is in Leo, which is ruled by Libra. So this mutual reception is all about love and relationships. And so it's like we've kind of come to this huge point. This is a huge focal point now, especially because we're on the week before Saturn comes direct, which is going to bring everything in what all this last 3 years of Saturn and Capricorn has been about, which is basically since December of 2017. And all the craziness that we've gone through and the hard choices and a lot of the restrictive energies, and with Jupiter direct and with Pluto being there as well, there's a lot with this sun in Libra that it's going to have to go through. It's going to have to oppose Mars retrograde. It's going to have to square Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn. And this week with Venus in a finger of God tonight as we're talking, Venus 18 degrees of Leo, it's going to yod, make a quincunx over to Neptune and a quincunx to Jupiter, and Jupiter and Neptune are sextiling. Jupiter being in Capricorn, Neptune being in Pisces. This is a finger of God. Boom! To Venus, which happens to be in mutual reception with the sun, that happens to be in the sign that Venus rules, and Venus likes to be in Libra or in Leo. So this is all about romance and love. This is where it's all coming down, folks. We got this very intense week because Mercury at the same token tonight into tomorrow, so Wednesday, is going shadow because Mercury in Libra is going to then enter into Scorpio this weekend, and then I think it's October 13th, Mercury goes retrograde in Scorpio. And it's important for us to realize that this is the point where Mercury will come back direct, which is even weirder because Mercury or Venus, when it went retrograde in October and November of 2018, retrograded back to 25 Libra and went retrograde in Scorpio at about the same degree. Mercury's going to go retrograde at 11 degrees. Venus went to retrograde at 10 degrees. Now we're going to see this exact trying to understand the weirdness of your life about relationships and the weird Venus transit that happened of October and November of 2018. And so with this Mercury, it's going to oppose Mars this week, square Saturn like it is right now. There's a pressure on Saturn from Mercury and Mars, and this is our mind and our actions. And should we keep doing this in love, or should we do this all the way? And this is very black and white, very cardinal. Like I have to take initiative, I have to take action, I have to make a choice. And with Venus being in Leo, that means after this yod, it's going to make quincunxes also to Pluto. It's going to make a quincunx over to Saturn by the end of this week, pretty much. So there's a lot about big major transformation happening with the moon also coming into Capricorn to meet with those big planets in Capricorn right now with Venus in Leo and to square the sun in Libra. Big choices about relationships right away. This is not a Libra transit that's going to be light. It's going to be intense. So the balancing act and the harmony is going to come from who you choose to be with, and if it's really in alignment with your destiny, and if it really is, I'm going to say it. It's like go big or go home when it comes to relationships. Don't play like small. Like this is not Cancer. This is Capricorn where all the big planets are. And Saturn's ruling the roost. Mars retrograde at 26 Leo of Aries is going to square Saturn all week and come to the exact point when Saturn comes direct at the beginning of next week. So remember, there's a lot of struggle. There's a lot of, I don't know how many times I've dropped things or things have broke. I broke one of the CDJs last night, by the way, when I put all that stuff back in there. Not one of the new ones.
Not one of the new ones?
Not one of the new ones, but I spent 2 hours last night repairing a jog wheel, and I have to get a new part. I was like, oh my God. So this is definitely going to be frustrating.
That doesn't sound like you at all forcing something when, you could have just waited for help.
I played you like a little fiddle.
Oh, yeah.
To teach everybody exactly what it is.
Or did you play yourself like a fiddle in order to teach everybody this?
I'll admit, I play myself like a fiddle all the time, including here. But I will say that's the lesson is anything that seems too complicated and hard to deal with, don't do it. Like, I shouldn't have tried to move. How heavy is that shit? It's heavy.
It took us 3 people to get it out here.
So by myself, I tried to do that all on my own last night at the studio. Ended up breaking a $2,200 CDJ. You know what I mean? So in relationships, is it just feeling like it's too hard, or is it feeling like it's destined? And it's like, yes. And even though it still takes that courage and strength, when you push forward with it, it almost is like giving you like Mario coins, like that's what I really feel. The last thing I would say about this week would be, well, Mercury coming into a lot. So communication is going to be everything about being very clear, very direct, and being honest with yourself, and be the judge and jury about, is this who you really are and this is what you really want for your long term? The best question to ask is, would this be great 20 years from now? And you kind of have to envision yourself and put yourself there. There's going to be a lot of emotion and mental stuff with the moon square the sun, Mercury and crazy aspects, and then Mercury coming into Scorpio this weekend. It's going to meet with Juno. So we're going to really understand the intensity and the passion this weekend of whether we're all in or we're not. And there's a lot going on. So I say we see what's going on with the cards. Got the Four of Wands reversed. Okay, so anything that's definitely not a party and definitely not a celebration. The Four of Wands is always the card that has to deal with, celebrations or marriages. And look at it, it's like kind of like the fire inside the car, not outside. It's like a universe in here, but it's reversed. Are we driving in the wrong direction? Or, has it felt like we haven't been able to find where we're at? Are we afraid to drive into the right direction? This is going to be, we're going to have to go deeper, of course. We go deep on this. This is Deep Love Tarot. I'm just saying that there's a lot here where it's like, if you've been in a relationship and it just has not really felt like it's been driving in the right direction, this would definitely be like, okay, we need to make sure we're in the right place here. And you got to check it very intensely. If it's new and you're afraid, maybe it's because you're continuing looking in the rearview mirror and you're not looking forward into the celebration that's there. Our shadow challenge card is revenge. Ooh, she's out for revenge. I would say this is definitely a week to especially with Mars. This is definitely going to be like, I would feel that anything that's not going in the right direction has some sense of the person you might be dealing with, or even within yourself, is not in a good place. And that's going to be a good test for you this week. Like, is your partner in a good place? Is the person that you're dating in a good place? Is the person that you might try to date in a good place? And is there some sort of like weird energy if things didn't work out that would fucking come after you like that? That's already kind of a clear sign. We don't want the ring girl coming out of the TV. She freaks me out. We got the Three of Wands upright though. The overall means we have a lot to look at into the future. We have a lot to prospect, and we have a lot of big options and big journeys. If it doesn't feel like it's a big journey, then it feels like we're kind of trapped in some sort of dark, weird person that's trying to keep us to watch the ring. And it's not that big thing to celebrate about. The universe is also saying if we can see visions of us and the partner, or us and the perspective of the person that we might be going after, that's a good sign. But if those visions are fear-based and feeling like you're looking in the rearview mirror, or you're looking in some sort of hostile stuff, I would run. To get through that, we got the Hermit reversed. It's almost like I would say that this is a big sign that whoever, and if it's you, because I'm going to be real, it could be you, but if you're going to get hostile, or you're going to get weird, or whoever's getting weird, they are not connected to any spiritual knowledge, any spiritual anything at all. Like, they're just like, that means that they have severed the tide of spirit. Because the Hermit reverse to me is somebody who's not even willing to go research or do the work to understand. Many of us have to go into a hermit place to understand spirituality. And this person would act, I would think, like they just don't have any knowledge of anything except how to do something vindictive or bad, or try to go after somebody. Why do we get that Four of Wands? We got the Sun reversed. Okay, yeah, I would say that anything that does not feel like it would allow you to be you and your full self is not a party, is not the celebration, is not the kind of union you want. Anybody who tries to change you, anybody who tries to change who you are at all, this is not about trying to change anybody, because with the Sun reversed, it's unconscious. It's like, and it can be controlling with that Four of Wands reversed. It's like having to go through like an arranged situation, which you definitely don't want to go through. And when it comes to this Three of Wands upright, we did get, interesting enough, we got, on these cards, I think that this is the wand. Yeah, the Knight of Wands upright. So, what is the most passionate, fiery, exciting journey ever? That's what it's asking us to do. Instead of this kind of controlling, not letting you be that on you about what you're doing all the time, and coming from this kind of like, and if you do that, I will take it out on you and I'll make your life. I don't know why I'm getting that. Our overall that we got here, wow, it's the Scorpio card. Oh yeah. This is going to be a week of intense transformation and passion, of connection, or it's disconnection from like zero, like I am killing this out of my life, or I am going to rise this up. I like how in the Scorpio card here, it does have a little bit of that Egyptian mummy aspect to it as well. So we're putting something either to bed, or we're rising it up like a fucking intense scorpionic
exercise
vibe.
The demons.
Definitely going to be exercising the demons in good or bad ways. We did pull Libra Venus in the 7th house. Holy moly. I think that we got a freaking more than a bingo here. We need to get somebody here on the casino floor and make sure that this is real. Venus and Libra in the 7th house. The ultimate of that you could roll for relationships. This is going to be one intense relationship week. And you want to make sure that that's the true partnership of your true self, and not you putting your own identity and self away and having somebody try to change you. Anybody who's trying to change you is honestly from the dark.
Darkness. Yeah, it's almost like, at times we can kind of, celebrate too early almost, it's like, or give up before we even pass that finish line. Or like, oh, we already made it, But in all reality, it kind of is like our fear almost holding us back from allowing us to pass that finish line, from allowing us to like fully fulfill that mission that we're pushing forward to. I think that there is like needing to kind of push through those fears of what is, and what's going to be, instead of just like letting that natural flow happen. So I think it's getting back to that natural state of appreciation and kind of letting that grow. Obviously there is going to be major transformation, and whether that's going to be transforming a new life together or transforming in a different direction where you're not allowing it, but allow it to happen naturally, let nature take its course, so to speak, but at least see it all the way through, the good or the bad, see it all the way through in this circumstance. So yeah, I think that's what's happened.
Yeah,
allow ourselves to push through. Continue to sing what's going to happen.
Yeah, but I'm a little nervous about this revenge card and the servant reverse.
That's what I mean. I think that's kind of like the revenge. It's like within, so like we're like afraid of, like we're thinking that all this shit's like coming towards us, and so it can kind of stop us from actually like seeing our goal, or seeing that finish line, and we're kind of stopping a little premature, we might say.
Yeah, it definitely can be that. I mean, especially the overall is that Knight of Wands. It is awesome. It is with, what was it with again? It was with the, the Three of Wands. It's telling us to definitely look for the big, awesome. I know it might sound crazy, but like the ultimate. I don't think that this is us trying to work to get something to the ultimate, like when it's just not showing it. Four of Wands reversed, it's like the celebration really isn't there. With the Sun reversed, the Sun reversed in love is always like you losing yourself in something that you're not. And that's why I said arranged marriage. Mm-hmm. So I think that with the Scorpio card, you'll know if like you said, like, oh, maybe I was too scared. I think it's either fear of going in or the fear of letting go when you know you've been controlled and you're not in yourself and you're like, fuck, and this isn't the ultimate. Mm-hmm. Definitely fucking intense one. Holy shit. With that Venus 7th house Libra roll, I don't know. It's pretty intense with relationships. So guess who's first?
Libra?
No.
Leo?
No. It's time for a what?
For obviously the most transformative, most beautiful, most prolific of all the signs, baby. Cause ain't no party like Scorpio party, baby. And we're kicking that shit off real funky to get it started. All right.
All right, let's see what's going on for the Scorpios this week. Pulled the Six of Swords upright. Nuclear bomb explosion. But the Six of Swords is always like, the protection and safety to go to a new place. So if you notice, the family is safe and watching the bomb from far away. But it definitely is saying that there is a passage to a better place. And so with relationships, I wonder what this passage is going to be. Intense that we did pull the nuke for that. But it is Scorpio life. It is now Libra. It is your 12th house. So, Scorpios are going through what is not spiritually aligned and what is. That's the big question. The shadow that we got here is fragmentation. Hard to be whole when things are all over the place and fragmented. So maybe there's fragments of things that are exploding, but not everything. But then there's parts that you feel locked, especially because this butterfly is trying to get going, or she could be a freaking mosquito, with only a crescent moon. So it's like something's not whole, and it feels locked down. Like there's parts of maybe a partner or a relationship or somebody you're trying to date that you're excited about, where it's like, can I ever get? Because Six of Swords is like, let me get to that ultimate new island or that new place. But there's like this fragmentation. There's chains here. There's like parts that just aren't all there. And the Empress reverse comes up. So knowing your manifestation power to create the ultimate beauty and the ultimate kind of partnership that just has everything that it can manifest. And it is a very regal, extreme card of feminine and its beauty and its maturity. And it also is being able to have a baby, it's very
baby.
It's like the ultimate, baby. I would say, kind of feminine energy to have for love. So I would say that is the femininity in the relationship working itself out, the love aspects, the nurturing aspects. With it reversed here, it would just definitely be like that's something that's got to be looked at extremely of what maybe the fragmentation's about. And how do you get through that fragmentation? You pulled the High Priestess up, right? So your gut and maybe even a psychic this week, or somebody is going to help you understand this week. So somebody that is psychic, somebody that maybe is an astrologer or tarot, or even like yourself, your guides are going to help you understand where the fragmentation is and how to deal with that, and probably help you get to the other side. What's going on here? The Temperance card reversed. So seeing the Empress and Temperance card reversed here is like two cards dealing with natural beauty being reversed. So how that beauty comes together in nature is reversed with the Six of Swords. It's almost like maybe the relationship has to shift things, or maybe a partner that you're new with or somebody that you liked. Just it's like you're pushing too hard and you want it to go to this great place, but it's not worthy of that. Maybe it's not built on strong footing. Or it's like, this is, Temperance reversed is like having the earth not naturally working, having your schedules not naturally worked, having things just all kind of upside down. And two of the most cards dealing with this beautiful energy are in reverse. And what's going on with the Empress? I'm going to pull it with this. You pull the Hangman reverse. So it's like, this is a time where you've seen, like, get off the hook of anything that's not showing up as the ultimate Empress that will give you the true, beautiful energies and love. If it doesn't have that true energy, that would be true. I would say true beauty. It just kind of feels like you're going to have to get a big message here from Spirit. And your overall card that you did get is the Virgo, and you have to analyze this reality and see if it's the reality you want. You have an opportunity that you're not stuck. It's like you're kind of on the fence, I would say. But there's a better world to go to, but are you stuck in the world that's not natural, or the not natural in the partnership world? Not wanting to go there? Are you going to go there? Well, we'll see. Saturn in the 3rd of Pisces. So having to take a look at the environment and the subconscious realms and take control of escapism of the mind, escapism itself, and be smart, and to pay attention to all the subconscious and the hidden aspects that are there, but actually bringing them up to the surface mentally, communication wise, and looking at the subconscious mind extremely.
Yeah, I think it comes down to being transparent, and it's like finding comfort within the chaos, and like coming from a real authentic point of view, and actually like allowing your partner to see you for who you are. Don't put up any blocks. Just fully express yourself. If you want to do this, make it clear. If you like it that way, make it clear, feed off of that. Show up for your partner so that they can show up for you, allow them to actually show up and actually see you for who you truly are, Don't hide away in the shadows. Put it all out there on the table and make it clear. Make it clear and present who you are, the person that you are, the lover that you are, what you're looking for in this relationship, and what you think that you can put into that relationship. Just be honest, be transparent, be there.
Be honest always. Honest Abe.
Always.
Geminis.
What's up?
Geminis.
All righty. It's easy to get lost within the fucking bullshit that we're...
Geminis and honesty, I don't know. Just fucking with you. It depends on which twin's out, Gemini, you know what I mean? Like, one twin is honest as hell. The other one is... Oh! That's why I like Geminis, because, it's like, ooh, get a little bit of... You never know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? What do you got going on, Gemini? You pulled the Knight of Wands in reverse. Well, maybe you've leaped into something and maybe you're unsure about it. Or maybe you just haven't had the courage to leap into love the way that you want to. I feel like this is definitely shy on the love trigger. And possibly because we are entering Libra and you are in your 5th house of love now. And here is Mercury opposing Mars and... there's definitely a lot going on. I talk a lot more, of course, deeply with the astrology, what's going on the app, highvibe.tv. I would just say that you're gun shy with love right now. Why is that? Well, you pulled the fated to suffer. And I think that that's your issue, is you just think that you're fated to suffer all the time. I think that you keep reoccurring in your mind, in your own self, that it's just going to be bad. I think that you could even attach kind of negative aspects to people and looking only at the things that they're going to do to make you suffer, instead of looking at the knight in shining armor full of love, or the person in their love. But this is definitely like unsure about your love situation completely, and not definitely jumping into things at all. And you pulled the Hangman reversed as your overall, so it's like you're free to move about the cabin for love. It's almost like, do you want to just stay stuck any longer? Because I think that you've been stuck a long time. Pulling that as your overall, the Hangman reversed, you've been stuck for a while in this, and I think that this is trying to get you out of that energy. You did pull the Vision card, so the vision that you create, if it's going to be based off the root of, fated to suffer, especially the evil queen, like, in Snow White, it's like, here's this, and I'm going to poison you. Like, yeah, I think Snow White for the rest of her life. They never talked about Snow White and how she dealt with afterwards eating that really horrible apple. Wonder what her therapy sessions are like. Probably can't even go near any nursing home or anything like that. But I would say that, you've got to have a better vision about love and not one fated to suffer. That's an issue. Why did you pull this Knight of Wands reversed? Oh, you pulled the Prince of Skulls reversed, which would be the Page of Swords reversed. So you're bored. You need stimulation and also communication, or you're having issues and negative thought patterns, or you're not getting the communication you want to hear, and that might be an issue. I don't know if I look at the astrology. I mean, Mercury is getting ready to come in your sixth house. I think that, because I think that you're distracted in areas that you need to stop being distracted on, that are away from love. You're distracted in other areas. Mercury coming into your sixth this weekend to begin its shadow, of course, and get ready to retrograde. I think that you're distracted and you're not paying attention to leaping into love, and you haven't made that an option, and that's your issue. The Hangman came reversed because you did get, the Nine of Cups upright. You are missing out here, Gemini, and being distracted in other areas and not trying to leap towards love when you have the ultimate card for feeling of all the feelings that you ever want to felt, to bring you to the next card, which is the ultimate of love, and you're out, you're not stuck. So what are you doing? It's almost like you're distracted, and when you think about love, your vision is like only on things outside of love. And when you do go to love right now, it's kind of like fated to suffer. Your overall that you got here is the Aquarius card. You need to be able to connect to all things in life, and you need to understand how to connect to people, and you need to see what's exciting for your future, and you need to move forward in your future. And I think that you've kind of gotten stuck in the past here when it comes to love, especially. And I think that you need to move into the future, or whatever that looks like. There's things that can all come together, and I think that you're not applying those pieces that can come together in love. You did pull the 9th house Mercury Sag, so definitely it's time to look at everything a lot more. I think that you're way too, you're not diversified enough right now. Your portfolio is just like, I'm just doing this. When you need to spread out and diversify in so many different areas and look at so much bigger the story and the picture that you could have for your love life, because I think that you have completely gotten so narrow-minded about love and forgotten about the wide picture that there is and the opportunities that are right there ready for you to grasp. But you have to do something. Page of Swords reversed means that you have to take that initiative and say something. Nobody's going to do it for you and show up, because you're not showing up like some reeling, big horse with his wands ready for love. Even though you have nothing holding you back.
No, you have the power. You have the power to change that outlook. You have the power. What does your future look like? Who is going to be there with you? What do you even look like in that future? It's like you hold the power to all that. You have the answers within, but you have to get out of that negative headspace. You have to get out of that same mundane, just bullshit that's going in there that's saying that you can't do it, or maybe that you're not worthy, or that you had it but you lost it. It's okay. The past is the past, and the present is the present. Be there and look to the future always. but you got to wipe away that fog, so to speak. You know, you have to clear that mind, just like we said before. The sky's cleared up here in Southern California. That could be you also, you know, but you have to allow yourself to do it. You have to allow yourself to step out of the head games that you play within yourself and say, okay, I am worthy of this, and this is what I want. This is who's going to be in my life, and this is how it's going to look. And then you go out and get that shit, and you make it happen. It ain't going to just show up. You got to make it happen.
Yeah, because somebody had put, Kayla had put stuck in a void vortex. That's not a fun place to be.
No.
Somebody put get money and NCV. The chat is lit. Somebody put the chat's lit, and I said everything's lit. Everything's lit. It's whether or not you're ready to light it or not. You know what I mean? Like, I carry a Zippo on me, you know what I mean? Like, it's always ready. I'm always ready to go. Uh-oh, that's probably a bad side. No, we're good. We're good. Maybe sometimes it just takes a couple times to strike that flint, and then it will light. Sometimes I think people try once, and then they go, oh, no. Didn't work. That's mainly probably directed towards Geminis. All right, we got the Aries here. Are we ready to see some Aries up here? Mars Retrograde. Woo! Battle of the gods. Battle. Aries. Battle for love. Battle for love. Put those plums out at the farmer's market. See the sun. Let them watch. Good morning.
Hi. What a beautiful day. Sunday.
I'm going to start doing that. Like, be in the middle of the show or be in the middle of an interview and then out of nowhere just say, good morning. What's going on with you, Aries? Two of Wands upright. Okay, great card. It's time to really see what is the world that you want to have. Look at that. A couple sailors kissing. Woo! We were talking about Aries and war and God of war and all this stuff. But, originally the Two of Wands is dealing with, what is the world that you want to have with love? And you can have it in your hands. You can have it in your life. I would say that this is a very intense time because this is a Libra sun. It is relationship time. Mercury's here, but that is opposition to Mars retrograde. Like, maybe it's time for you to get your mind straight about the kind of relationships you want, and maybe kind of pull back on some of just the things that you're putting yourself into and define that world much more clear from another perspective. You did pull as your shadow card, Naked Before the Stars. So, this is one of the better ones in the shadow deck, but it is still kind of alone out there listening to the universe. Are you just kind of alone, kind of out there doing your own thing? Or are you just like alone wandering the forest, taking a piss out by a tree? Like, when the party's inside or party's next, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell's going on here? There's a little bit of this, like, you just are kind of in the outer world perspective still. And I think that you need to get brought back into the world here. You did pull the Five of Cups in reverse. This means that any sorrow or victimization you have emotionally is really not there. This is a beautiful card, although she is, watching that cup just kind of go back away into the vortex. I would say that, let the past go, because, any sorrow that have happened, you got to just like look at now and look at maybe right now you've kind of are in this kind of outer perspective and looking at everything, but bring it into the now and don't think that you're going to end up in some sort of, negative emotional position. You did pull, the King of Swords upright. So yeah, definitely it's time to be clear on exactly what the vision is that you want and start to go for it and have that mental identity of it clear to you got to set intention. I'm really feeling like this is not just intention, but it's intention that's very strong and powerful, and you know exactly what it looks like. So that's positive and that's great. You did pull the World card upright with that Five of Cups reversed. I think that you have finally completed the cycle of a lot of your traumas or victim or especially emotional stuff going on, and that you're ready, but you just have to show up. I think that that's the issue. It's like you need to show up, you need to communicate, especially with the King of Swords. Your overall here is the sixth house. I would say that overall you need to relook at your whole entire life, your day-to-day schedule, your routine. Are you missing things because of the way that you create your routine and your schedule? I mean, we are, getting ready for Venus in Virgo, but it's in Leo. I mean, this is a great time for love for you in a yod. Are you going to make that real or not? Or are you going to make real the life that you already have that's missing the love the way that you want to? Or be stuck in the past and weird shit? Not bad reading. Moon in Leo in the first house. I mean, yeah, this is being extremely emotionally clear in what you want to have in your life to make yourself feel the happiness and the joy and the love. And fucking do it. Make that your life. Don't keep getting comfortable in a life that you are not happy with. It's good to make yourself happy, but that's the first house. Leo is about love. Love, when you can love somebody else and you can love yourself at the same time, is the ultimate of all love. So, just the same way that you love God, right?
Love is love. Yeah, it's almost like they feel maybe that they've gotten off their path a little bit, and maybe that they've lost some of that love or the relationships that they thought should be in their life, and they're no longer there, and that's okay. But there are those individuals that are surrounding you now. Those individuals chose you as well. They're in your life for a reason. So it is time to kind of look around and kind of get back up that and maybe find a new path, find a new passion, find a new inner appreciation for yourself and where you are in your life right now, and for those that are surrounding themselves with you. There is that love there, and it is time to kind of tap into that and feed on that and build it within yourself again and get back, right back in order.
Right back in order.
Right back in order.
I think we're at 1K collective.
I'm seeing that. I am seeing that.
Good job, everyone. We only went through, 3 signs in the collective, and we got 1K. Let's keep it going. Remember what we do at 2K.
Sex.
Craig and his whispers, man.
Sexy time.
And his safe words. Craig has safe words and whispers.
I haven't gotten to use those safe words in a while, though.
I don't know. It must be a Scorpio thing. As Leo, when I'm with a girl, I'm not really into the whispering. I'll tell a woman what's going on. Hey, you're fucking that. You know what I mean? And then there's no safe words.
Obviously,
There's no safe words. You'll be fine. Listen to the king.
that's not how it works. But hey, to each their own.
All right. This is what I forgot. I thought we were doing a sign. We are doing a 1K collective. This is where you get to pick anybody that you want, but it has to be somebody that you are connected with, that you are speaking romantically with, you're dating, you met on a dating app, it's your partner, it's maybe just a fling, it's your marriage. Pick the person that you want to know, and that's it. That's only that person. This only applies to them. You can't be like, that seems like it's going more like this other person. No. And it has to be somebody you're really talking to in a romantic way. See what's going on. And I'm going to give you 10 seconds here. 10. Put them up on a wall. 8. Put them up on something, like a picture, your favorite. 5. Don't be a creep and have a bunch of screenshots of them. Don't pick that picture, the one that you see in your soul. 1. All right, let's go. Let's see what's going on with this partner in you, or what the hell you think. The Knight of Wands in reverse. So I think that this is somebody that you're unsure if they're ready to jump all in, or they are giving you spark, but not enough. It's funny, on this card, it does say, I think I love you. Who the fuck are you? Right? So it's kind of like a one night stand thing. But it's the reversed here is more I would say it's maybe it's not going fast enough that you want to go to, right? Or there's some sort of hesitation here. The shadow here is the queen of my own world. So this person's afraid of leaving their full life, okay? They have their world and they don't want to let it go, and that's what's keeping them hesitant. They're afraid of losing something. They're not going to lose themselves unless you're some creep and controlling, But that's what it is. The Tower reversed overall. So this thing is definitely not kapunk and over. I would say that it's definitely something that still has to build something, or it hasn't seen itself be built yet. And you know that there's a lot there to be built, but there's also a little bit of fear on both sides about this thing, because I think it's pretty intense and transformational in such an extreme way. But there's an unsurety about things. And I would say that, you know, because this is a 1K collective, we're doing it about the person that you picked. I'd say that this is definitely feeling like that there's some hesitation here. And they have the Judgment card reversed here with the Queen of My World. So they're connected to a world that really doesn't have a purpose fulfilled. And when they find that purpose, it almost will get in more alignment. So, but they're also going through a lot when it comes to understanding what their purpose is right now. And that's a lot of the reason why, is they're kind of lost in not knowing what their purpose is. And that's kind of making them kind of stuck this growth fully. The reason why we got that Knight at Wands, we got the Fool card. So I would say that they are scared to do something stupid, but they're enjoying it. The Fool card's enjoying it, but they're afraid of like falling over. Is this stupid? When it's not. I mean, it's not stupid. The Fool card reversed would be dumb. It's about the natural part of getting back to the natural heart, and then when anybody tries to stop that, that's when it's stupid. So maybe they're being dumb and like playing with you in a way like, oh, well, it feels great. And then what? Now you don't know? Okay. And the reason why we got that Tower reversed is we did get the Two of Pentacles. They're shuffling their worlds. There's definitely a lot about their own world. Not only did they get the Queen of My World, they got the Shuffle card of shuffling different realities, the Two of Pentacles, and they did get the Fool with the Knight of Wands reversed. So I would say overall here, look at Mercury retrograde. There's still a lot of thinking going on, and they're reinventing themselves while at the same time reinventing their whole world and trying to figure out a lot of things. So it's definitely not kaplunk, but definitely like, how much longer are you gonna have to wait here is the question. And maybe you have to set your mark and say, hey, I'm not like we've already been through this stuff. Because when I see this Mercury retrograde card and I love reading it, it's like, okay, you've already been re-looking at it. So are you done? Are you done looking at all this? We got Virgo, Neptune, 8th house. Yeah, this is like having to this is trust issues, sensitive trust issues about the reality changing and the sensitivity to that. And that could also sometimes also be just like the fear of commitment in the reality, because it'll transform the reality. But that's the subconscious stuff that's going on. And also, you know, I would say that how you have to handle this is like, let it go. You know, it will show up and be in your reality if you know how to attract it in. You don't need to like force the change. Just be the change by showing up.
Yeah, it might be something to be weary about, but not like it's like a horrible situation. But maybe this individual is just trying to kind of like conform to like you and your life instead of having their own personality and their own being, you know, and that's never going to be healthy for anything. You know, if you get into a relationship and the person just automatically just starts liking all the things that you like, starts listening to all the music that you like, starts eating all the food that you like, and not actually having a ground to stand on as themselves, then that relationship is not going to have a foundation because your partner is not there. They're not being authentic to themselves, you know? So kind of just pay attention to that. Maybe they're trying to kind of pick up every little nuance about your life, you know, and adapt that into theirs, you know, instead of, you know, find something out about them, find if they actually are true, find if they actually have a soul within them, so to speak, you know, see if they actually are an individual of truth or if they're just kind of reflecting and picking up, you know, because those ones can't be trusted, you know, from what I've observed. It's never happened to me, but when I see that in relationships with friends and family members of individuals that kind of just come in and then just start like saying like, oh, no, I'm all about this and I'm all about your family and I'm all about your friends and I'm all about what you like and this and that and that, and they don't actually show who they truly are, get that shit out of there.
Please go to the tarot. Like, go to the tarot. It's like this.
Why didn't you push him in?
No. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I'm still thinking about it. No, am I not? Oh wait, hold on. Oh no! Cordell! Oh, we missed the scene. There it is. Uh-oh. Oh no! 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 Don't be that this week. I fucking love that fucking scene. I don't know why. I'm fucking a creepball. Pisces. Bye-bye. Let's see what's going on for you fishes. 5 of Pentacles upright. Oh, shit. Literally what the card says. This is the victim card. This is the card of feeling healing, like needing healing or homeless. Look at it. It's a puzzle piece missing. It's like your partnership life, it's missing something, or the partner you're with, you know what? It makes you just feel like you're with maybe you're with somebody who's like very insecure and not together. I mean, you just finished your relationship season. Now you're in your 8th house of deep looks and trust and intimacy and passion, and maybe it's just not there. And you could also be having some issues with that. You did pull the Parasite card as your overall.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Yeah, that's what Craig pulled on the Instagram and TikTok thing we just did. I would say that you're dealing with the energies around. I'm going to be honest. Pisces need to wake up this week about what's going on about either A, you have your own parasite going on of your own self-worth. That's why you're not attracting what you want if you're single. And if you're in a relationship right now, you need to pay attention. There's something about the partnerships you're choosing or the partner that's going through a lot of kind of victim or like mentality or some sort of like, oh, I need this, but not wanting to, and kind of holding some really hard space here. I'll be honest. The overall that you got is the 4 of Pentacles and upright. So I think that you need to know what the ultimate hand to have in a relationship is. Like, what is the very best? This could play good or bad, right? Because you could be holding on to a parasite that's not that great and think it's great. I think that this is where you need to see if your relationships or the non-existence of them in the way that you live your life, if it's really gold or not, if it's really worth holding on to or not. And only doing that. You pulled the Death card reversed with the Parasite, so I would say that, this is the card to help you understand the reason how to get through this. It's because you're afraid of ending it. You're afraid of ending whatever, staying single and playing the victim, or staying in a relationship that's just a victim situation. And that's your issue. You did pull the World card reversed. This relationship situation is like not taking you into the world that you want anymore, and maybe at one time, and it's trying to complete itself, but it's like you're not allowing it to. And that might just be, this 8th house energy is you have deep fears of change, deep fears of death, anxiety, of your world changing. You're afraid of your world to change, so you just stay in the same world. So it's a lot of anxiety about how the world would change. We're going to use this new True Black deck here. Let's see what we got here. Woo! Well, that's the 9 of Swords upright. So I'm going to be honest with you all. This is about a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, and look at how that sword is going through that little bunny's heart and just jamming through it. Not the most pretty. But I would say that this is the anxieties of the truth that is being seen like a night. It's the nightmare card. Like you wake up from a nightmare about holding on to something that's not that great. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know. There's just something about her that doesn't even look that great of holding that. Like, I kind of like it. It looks like she, one of those people who pose too much, like unnatural pose. Have you become so like the pose is not even natural anymore? Look at your pictures with your partner. And if you haven't taken a picture with that partner and you feel uncomfortable with that, or you have to hide that, or you deny that, or it's just like, that's a big indicator, Pisces. or you have nobody to take a picture with. Gemini, you have to communicate, right? So that's what this Gemini card's coming up for. It's also your 4th house ruler where the North Node is. I would say that this is a very intense week for you because you're going to have to communicate and you have to look at the environment. It needs to be more stimulating and you need to get to the truth of why you're afraid of ending the parasitic aspect of either yourself or your partnership that is definitely going through a massive wake-up call and a world-changing. And I think that you tried to keep it all good over the last 30 days, but now things have changed. You did get the 9th house Aquarius Mercury. Well, it's time for you to look at completely different worlds and different people and different situations, and time for you to also communicate about the kind of world that you want and what your beliefs are and what your hopes are. And also, this is kind of disconnecting from a world. I feel like Pisces just want to like fish out to some new place, fish out to some new waters. And, you know, address a lot of things that are not, you know, maybe this could just be some toxic part of your partner that's just trying to be dealt with. I mean, there's a lot here.
Yeah, when I was looking at that card that you're speaking of, I was picking up like being just like inauthentic to ourselves, you know, and inauthentic to our partner. You know, that's not going to lead to any productive situation, you know, if we're not being truthful, if we're not being upfront with who we are, you know, even with ourselves, if we're not being authentic to ourselves, then how can we expect to have any healthy relationship, you know? And so I think that it is kind of stepping out of that, like stepping out of that shadow of maybe putting up that false front of who you thought your partner wanted, you know, or who you even kind of thought that you wanted to portray out into the world, you know, and actually just live in your authentic self. As far as that is defined, you know, we're always kind of evolving, you know, we're always kind of finding out who we are every single day, every hour sometimes. But it is just tapping into that, you know, and actually putting that out into the world and being comfortable in your own skin. Can be tough, but you know, work at it. But you got to work at it. If you don't put in the effort, then it's not going to happen. So it's like practice that authenticity of your true self.
Yeah, and I think that you said it best. I mean, it's the authentic self, and it's also, I think, just facing all the fear. There's a lot of just fear-based energy of change. It doesn't mean that it has to change. It just is like getting over just the fear of doorways that are possible, even if they don't look like the way that you would want them to look. By getting rid of that fear, then actually it's almost like universe is like, well, okay, that door's there for them, but that means if they're not afraid of this door, that means they won't be afraid of that door or this door. There's a lot of doors that aren't opening because of the fact of the fear-based stuff. A lot of fear-based stuff off just seeing things not go the way that you exactly want to. I think it's a lot of ego, fear, death anxiety shit going on for Pisces there with their partnerships and having to face that stuff. Not fun, but it's pretty simple when you realize no matter what any outcome is, then the universe knows you're fine. And the universe always finds the best outcome, but we can manifest bad outcomes by being afraid of certain outcomes and holding on to that constantly. Capricorns, the caps and the cappies. Wait, where are all the cappies at? We got cappies in the chat. We're at 1.1 thousand people. We have a 1. We got a 1-1. We got an 11 going on here, peeps. Some twin energies going on here, folks. Twin. I won't lie with this Venus, there's a lot of twin flame shit going on right now.
Whoa.
I'm using the astrology for that.
Did you say the TF?
I said TF. Capricorn's got that 4 of Pentacles in reversed. We actually just saw that card earlier, but you know, this is definitely like you're just like throwing out things that no longer are worthy of holding on to, like values and kind of like rules. This is the 10th house for you, but it's ironic. This card says, how could you afford such a big and beautiful house? I never paid for any of my tarot readings. Well, this is reversed. It's saying like, you know, I think that it's like maybe you prize things that are not worth the prize anymore. So in a relationship or people, like maybe you have this kind of type, like this is the type I really need. and it will get me what I want. But it's like, it's not getting you really anything. I feel like you're dropping all these expectations that you've had and all these rules. And I think that you have to really I think that Capricorns are in a very vulnerable space right now of like open to seeing what's going on with love and relationships and being willing to see that, it's time to make some better choices and look in some different areas because your values and the way that you are, look at, you got bride in a cage. You're definitely holding yourself from love. And you feel trapped, but I think it's because you keep looking in the same place for the same kind of person, the same valued place that hasn't worked, that got you into this cage. Woo! Your overall card that you got is the Five of Wands reversed. Yeah, you're definitely not, you're afraid of conflict. You're afraid of like getting in the game. You're afraid of like getting into the heat. Whether it's leaving a relationship in that heat, whether it's entering a new relationship in that heat, trying a new direction, it's like tension makes love. Sorry to say. So Capricorns are playing it a little too safe and need to get rid of the rules because you guys are trapped in a cage right now that is not fun. And you pulled, look at this, beware reverse. I would say that it's like, there is nothing to be afraid of looking in new directions. I'd be more, it's like beware more of the cage that you're stuck in. Like, I think that for some reason you're afraid, so you're keeping yourself in a cage from what you really want out there in love. Wow, you did pull the Nine of Wands in reverse. Yeah, this is time to take down the walls. Take down the walls and take down all the things that are no longer have served you and the values at one time. This is a new world anyway that we're in. Like, I think that you have kind of kept guard for maybe some person too, and they just have not shown up the way that you wanted to. You might have broken up with somebody, or you're about to break up with somebody, and you keep expecting them to change, and they're not changing. Or, inside of yourself, you're dealing with an inner battle right now about like, maybe you have to just let go of a lot of the walls you put up and let go of the values of what you expect out of them. But if you're feeling stuck in a cage, it's like the thing that you're scared of is not to be scared of. The thing that's to be scared of is staying stuck in the same position. You did pull, with that, you did pull the Five of Wands upright. So I would say it's kind of funny. You got a Five of Wands here and a Five of Wands upright here. So reverse. It's saying get in the game. It's saying get into the weirdness sometimes. Get into the competition. I know it's a competitive card, but it's a card of just get into the moment more. Get into the fire. Get into the ring. See what happens. Like, I think that there's been a lot of holdback. I think that that's creating you to kind of feel stuck right now. You got Black Moon Lilith, the mystery. It's time to go into the mystery of what you really want. You have to go into your inner desires here and communicate it and let it out and be real. Lilith has come out. I think you're afraid of your Lilith. I think that you're afraid of your mystery to see what's on the other side. I think that you're afraid to do something wrong instead of finding out what's right deep within yourself. You pulled the Moon and Sag in the 12th house. This is definitely letting go of subconscious emotional belief systems that have been holding you back in your relationship life, and also like to emotionally feel the journey of the wonder that's spiritual. This is about the spiritual journey, and to not be afraid to go on that emotionally instead of like holding your emotions back for the same journey that you continually go on the same pattern with.
Like we love to say, you gotta let that freak flag fly. You gotta let Lilith experience that shit. Let her live through you. Wherever those fears are kind of stopping you a bit, you gotta push that shit to the side. Let Lilith take over. Get a little freaky time. Roll around in the mud a little bit. Get your knees dirty. Whatever you gotta do. But you can't just hold yourself back. You can't limit the experiences that are put in front of you. You can't limit yourself from truthfully and fully experience life in its greatest form. Sometimes we kind of say, no, I shouldn't do this, because we've been programmed. We've been programmed this way. They say, no, you shouldn't wear that. No, you shouldn't drink that. No, you shouldn't do this. It's your fucking life. Do it. You're only going to be here once. I mean, yeah, obviously we come back. But this reality that you're living right now, you're only going to be experiencing it one time. So experience it fully, experience it in the joy, the peaceful, the craziness, whatever it is that you want to experience it, you need to do it for yourself. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Yeah, you come back around on the carousel, like, but, you know, imagine the carousel being slowed down to like taking billions of years to come full circle. So you could go into lives in the up and down of the carousel, but it's like extremely slow.
Yep.
So those are lives to get back to this point. But I would say that I like, it's not, you know, I think that you bring up some good points about like the freak flag and like don't be afraid. But I think that number one thing is greatness, always the first step is going to feel uncomfortable. So don't be afraid of that first step towards that greatness, you know, but it's going to be an uncomfortable step. The second step is going to be uncomfortable too. But when you're halfway up, going up those stairs to the temple, there's the eagerness, the excitement, and you're not even thinking about that fear anymore, and you're on your way to greatness. Libras, well, it's Libra time. It is a Libra. Woo! It is happy birthday, Libras.
There you go, Ann.
And
listen up,
better
Ann.
listen up. Even though she's in the front office right now, we're doing the front office. Listen up, Ann. I know she even told us. She's like, "Are you guys gonna go live yet? Because I'm rebuilding this desk in here, and like I'm like wanting some background noise. Like, come on,
Listen up, Ann.
you better be paying attention right now, Ann.
Take notes.
See what's going on with you, Ann, and all Libras. Great. I feel like if this goes bad, I'm gonna like, you know, when it's people you work with, it's like, sorry, didn't mean to pull those cards. And I don't know what to say. Knight of Cups reversed. Emotional stuck. Let's see what this one says. I am back, bitches, with a smile. I would say that, look, you're getting signs from the universe and everything. It's like, this is like I'm back emotionally and back on the road, right? Knight of Cups is always a very slow night, but it starts to move forward. This is saying it's stuck in the emotional waters, or it feels like it's going nowhere. Maybe you feel like your love life isn't going anywhere, or you're still holding on to emotions that isn't allowing yourself to move forward. So you're kind of stuck, or you're stuck with some, I'll be honest, some Libras might be stuck emotionally because they're just with a dud. Challenge is, yeah, the child I was meant to be. That's the thing, is something that you thought was meant to be that's a dud. I mean,
Hold on 1 second. Oh, there we're back.
I was going to say that, you know, the child I was meant to be with this Knight of Cups reversed is like being stuck on, well, it was meant to look like this. I thought it was going to look good, but it didn't. It's like, don't be a Libra and keep hanging on the fence. You got Mars opposite you with relationships. It's time to take action. It's square Saturn in your emotions and deal with the uncomfortable emotions that it didn't look like the way it's supposed to be. And don't do the dud thing. You need to show back up like, I'm back, everyone. Get out of the dud situations. This is dealing with a dunce. 8 of air. So this is the 8 of swords. This is the toxic card. So I think that this is like you're creating your own toxic environment by expecting things because it was meant to be this way and being stuck emotionally in a place that you don't want to be. You need to get yourself out of emotional places that you do not want to be and in relationship situations that you do not want to be, and learn to disconnect because you're creating your own toxic environment. This card is one of the best 8 of swords I've ever seen. Her eyes are bloodshot. Like, there's just weirdness going all around this thing. And I mean, you think CV's bad? She's got something worse. You pulled the world card to get out of this, the child I was meant to be, understanding that there's a great world out there, and that when you complete something, it allows you to enter into a new world. So there's a lot of awesome opportunities and a whole great world out there for you, but when you're emotionally stuck on the dud situation, or you're emotionally just stuck in general and you're not doing anything, or maybe you're just single and you're not wanting to do anything and you're being stuck in this whole, like, it's meant to look like this, so I'm not going to go on this date. You know, it's like, well, okay, just stay in that world. It's going to be freaking making you feel that weird toxic energy. The reason why you pulled that Knight of Cups reversed is the Strength card. You need to have the strength to move forward, and that courageousness and that ambition and that power, that beauty, that determination. Go out on the prowl. Wow. I love that Vampers deck. That's my favorite deck of all decks. I'm not going to lie. I do like that deck, the Vampers deck. Let's see why this toxic 8 of Swords came up. I am picking, let me use the Edgar Allan Poe deck. Let's see what happens. Knight of Pentacles reversed. So we got a Knight of Cups reversed and a Knight of Pentacles reversed. That you not moving on in your journey, you not moving on emotionally is toxic. And you have to have the strength to do that to get to a better world instead of the world that you thought it was supposed to look like. It's like time to move on. There's a lot of move on energy. Move on or get moving. Just get moving. Get back into your emotional love life. Like, I don't know why Libras are just really stuck. I think there's all this Capricorn, the 4th square, all this. And your overall card that you did get is, wow, the Leo card. It's time for you to go for that Leo love, that passion energy. You pulled the Strength card, that's Leo. You pulled the Leo I Will card. You have that will and that strength to get the world you want. This is Leo Aquarius, the World card and the Leo card. Wow, it's time to be bright. And with this Venus, which happens to be in a major finger of God for you in your 11th house, there's a world waiting for you, but it's how you open up to new emotions and you let go of the reality that you don't want to be in. And you're stopped on a journey that needs to stop being stopped. You pulled the South Node in the 12th of Cancer. So I think that you're so focused on the emotional past that you need to focus on where you're going in the moment. And that's all that you need to pay attention to. Plans about the moment and changes that need to happen instead of getting caught up in this emotional lost place. And I would definitely not just keep watching movies that remind you of things or just thinking that everything's comfortable, so I'll stay here. That's your issue. Because it's not going anywhere the more comfortable you are in an uncomfortable place.
Yeah, comfort can be the downfall. Complacency can be the downfall in any, whether that's our personal life, whether that's our love life, our work, business. Once we feel too comfortable and we just kind of settle in and relax and say, "Oh no, I'm here," then we stop our evolution. Then we stop rising up to the aspects that we're capable of getting, the people that we're capable of achieving as a whole. And the individuals that we're supposed to bring into our life. Because they're evolving. Hopefully, hopefully they're just not being stagnant as well. Then I guess you could both be stagnant and just bored and boring and stuck in your life, and not continue to progress forward, not continue to bring into that love, but as long as you keep pushing forward, as long as you keep bettering yourself and say that I am worthy, I am going to get this, and I do want that individual in my life, then you're showing the universe that you want it, and then you are so putting that energy out into there, and then you are going to make it happen. But you got to go and get it. You can't just sit there and just say, oh, okay, no, it's okay, I'm just going to be complacent, I'm fine where it is right now. Okay.
You know what? It's kind of like, it's like trash. When you just don't take out the trash for like weeks and months, and then it just smells really bad, and then the trash can starts getting maggots in it. Like, where did the maggots come from? The flies that you couldn't see. So it's almost like the more complacent that you get, Libra, and whether you just are like, I don't know what to do, or I'm with a dud and I'm just comfortable. Like, there's little flies getting on that dud situation, whatever it might be. Maybe just staying single all the time, or maybe it's the person. And the maggots are starting to show up. Yummy. Don't let me get all Jim Carrey on you all. We're almost through. Who is next?
Halfway.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're almost through here. Man, we got the Saggies. Sag is next. Sagittarius. Where's all my Saggies at? Where's all my Jupiters at? Where's all my know-it-alls at? There they are. Let's see what's going on for you, Sag, this week with love. Mars retrograde, your 5th square the 2nd, and we are in Libra season, dealing with your 11th house. New worlds. You did pull the 10 of Pentacles upright. Well, this is a great card about the foundation in your life, the structure of, you know, like where it could build something that creates a lot of energy around it, a lot of people. You know, it's kind of interesting, this card. It's like how they're all having a good time and together in the same place. They're in the same moment. Like, I think that this is about, Sag, like, is this really in your romantic life building the place you want to be? And you have to ask yourself that, even though if you think, because I'm saying you're the know-it-all. Are you sure you know it all? When the universe is showing up with 11th house energy of like looking at that world and getting a UFO kind of perspective, a satellite view on things. Like, is this really that great of a structure? It's like getting the drone out and being like, yeah, my house is great. And then you look up and, oh God, the roof has a hole in it. No wonder I fucking have water in my bed every night. I thought I was pissing my pants because I was so weird. You did pull the greed or gilded regret. So I'm going to actually channel this. I feel that you have some sort of regret because it feels like the foundation you're building, or that you built it, is not really, it could be taken away, or it's not got enough of you in it. I feel like you're kind of like, I don't know, like a side piece. And so there's a regret that or you're kind of using the situation, or you're kind of, you know, taking advantage of situations here. Pulled the Knight of Cups reversed. You're definitely emotionally stuck overall. And you feel that you're stuck, and that's why I think that you're kind of like, well, I'm going to be honest, this goes to very basic shit. I'm only here because it's offering me what I need. That's not exciting in love. If you were to take away those necessities you need in your own life, you are dealing with big fifth house energy squaring the second house of the physicality and the money situations. You are dealing with Venus and Leo in your ninth, making weird quincunxes to that second and to that fourth house. Home. There's some weird things about the home and money, and if that's really your world, or do you feel regret? Like, or if that's the right place for you, or you're building, or is it really going anywhere? What would it be like if somebody pulled away those things from you? Oh, wow. Pulled the Devil card. I feel that you are dealing with a lot of your own inner issues of feeling that you feel chained to something, that you got yourself in a really weird pickle here. We'll just say that. That's a nice way to say it. A really weird pickle. And you have to put on a mask, and you've had to change yourself, and I think you regret it, in order to keep some sort of foundational element to go, and you're emotionally feeling stuck that way. You did pull the 10 of Pentacles again. It is doubly emphasized. Wow. We're going to pull a third card for this. That there's something about this whole physical reality, like trying to, it's like the regret of kind of getting involved with somebody based off what they had, and what could be yours. For this, we are going to have to use the Golden Tarot. We're going to have to see what the Renaissance period can help us out with here. What do you think it is, Craig? Just energetically with 10 of Pentacles upright together. It's been a long, I don't know, man. We do a lot, over a year of this show every week, and I think we've seen the double Chariot back to back. But, or you're thinking the Chariot will pop out? Yeah. Ooh, I love when a Scorpio starts giving me some psychic shit. 3 of Wands reversed.
Super close.
It's kind of, yeah, it actually kind of is. Because it is saying that, like, you're not looking around at other options. It's almost like, this is it. I have to do this. I have to have this structure. I have to have this person, or I'm fucked. I won't go nowhere. I won't survive. But I feel guilty. I have to change myself. It's kind of like one reason that I joined the military when I was 18 was, and one reason I don't stay at people's houses, that's just, I don't know if people know this, but like, especially when I've been on tours and when I was younger on tours, people would be like, stay at my house. I think I did once. And I was like, I just feel uncomfortable because I don't like tiptoeing to the bathroom if I'm in somebody else's house. You know what I mean? Kind of like, you know that whole thing, Craig, you know, when you stay at somebody's house, like, I can't really, like, I'm hungry. Like, I'm gonna go into the kitchen, but like, am I gonna wake people up? Or I don't like being around anything that makes me feel that way. Okay. This is like that whole the whole relationship feels like that you're having to tiptoe or be a certain way or change yourself to be a way in order to sustain something. Let's see why you feel emotionally stuck here. You pulled the Page of Wands upright. Wow. It's like you're waiting for some great, exciting, passionate communication or just something fiery to come out from it. But I almost feel like there have been so many things to pull you out of this that have shown up, beacons of light from your angels to God, but you emotionally won't listen to them anyway. So it's like you expect something to come pick you up, but it does show up and then you don't take it because you're too emotionally in there. Wow, you pulled the 9th house. It's time to have a bigger vision now, especially with this Devil card here and especially with this regret. Like, I think you have some deep regrets that it's kind of changed you. You almost don't recognize yourself fully and you're having a change. And I think that you need to get back to, where's the real journey? Where's the real adventure? Where's the real faith in going into where you really are? Or did you lose all your faith? Neptune in Leo in the 10th house. Again, love off taking advantage in Neptunian ways. Kind of like I'll admit, I don't think that these are conscious situations. I think that they're kind of unconscious love to get you to better places instead of love itself. And you know what? That might be what you want. And I'm not here to tell you if it's wrong or right. But I definitely feel that there's something about the structure that's being built upon this relationship that it's more about the structures and the physicality of those things and the reality than it is about the love itself.
Yeah, it needs to be an unmasking, you know. It's almost like was it the many-faced gods that was in Game of Thrones, you know? It's like you've been putting on all these masks, you know. You've been putting on all these fronts, or maybe it's your partner that has been. There hasn't necessarily been. It's like you've lost maybe the magic. You've lost what the actual message was when you got into this relationship and what you thought it was going to be, you know. And I think it's getting back to that truth. I think it's getting back to yourself, you know, and your partner's self, and that actual what the foundation is that you're going to be building this relationship on. You know, it's kind of get caught up and almost putting up a front, so to speak, when we're trying to build a relationship, when we're trying to entice someone to be in a relationship with us, you know. Do they like us for who we are, or do they like us for who we're portraying that we are, you know? Or is that the same person, you know? And all greatness, and it's the same person. The person that you're putting out into the world is the person that you are inside of yourself. And so if you are doing that, that's great. But if you're not, you need to work on that, you know? Maybe just dial it back just a bit. Show that authenticity.
I don't feel like you gave full Scorpio there, but I think the authenticity is everything. But it's like everybody defines their own authenticity of their own heart. Like, everybody can go into love in their own ways. I'm biased because I'm a Leo rising, Leo Venus, Leo Mercury. So love to me is like love. I'll sleep in a fucking cardboard box if I got to for love. You know what I mean? So And I will never sacrifice who I am for love. And I will never stay in something that sacrifices who I am for love.
One, you should never ask, you should never have to. I think that is love, being your true authentic self. And you should never ask someone to kind of compromise who they are. I mean, again, we talk about, working with your partner and working with yourself so that you can, coexist within a relationship, but you shouldn't sacrifice those major aspects, those major parts that makes you your true self. And that's why that's where that love comes from. That's where it grows from. That's where that true attraction actually resides in. Who you are really, not some like crumpled down piece of paper, some bullshit that you wrote down in a bar and then you throw in the trash can. You know what I mean?
So when I was living in Hollywood, I went on this date with this girl 3 times, and all we did was kiss, but she was a closed mouth kisser. I mean, she never opened her mouth once. 3 different dates. I never said anything, because like, what do you say? Like, do you just like only kiss like if it was like 6th grade? And I remember that 3rd time I was just like, I'm not compromising myself. Like, I'm a French kisser. I like to make out. I like tongue. I like the whole thing. I'm that way. So it was weird because I was probably 29, 30. So it was like, God, I'm getting old. So this is 6-7 years ago. And I was like, she was hot too and everything. And I was like, and I don't remember how it just kind of I just stopped talking to her, I think. And it was just like, it was creepy. I would never just like, that'd be like me sacrificing that and being like, well, I guess I'll accept closed mouth kissing, which is really not kissing. It's like, I kiss my grandma, my Dutch grandma, my Oma, like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, you do it 3 times. God bless my Oma. It's her birthday tonight, actually, on September 23rd. Happy birthday, Oma. Yeah, but the whole thing is, I feel like that would be, and Sag is getting this little extra because I feel like it's like, are you compromising in those kind of weird ways? Like I don't really like doing this, but I'm going to just stay doing it. Like, oh God, I remember being like, if this doesn't change on the 3rd date, then I am fucking done. And I remember walking to my truck, I'll never forget it, and I'm like, done! Like, I'm just like, this is just crazy. I was like, girls when I was in high school at least kissed. The whole weird fact was showing up for the kiss for long periods of time. Wouldn't open up the mouth once. I have stories, man. You know what I mean? Like, I've been places. Aquarius, I gotta pee. So you get to take Aquarians to outer space or talk whatever you want to the audience while I pee really bad.
Aloha. Oh, I was just bent down right here. Oh, let's see. What is on the mood for today? Well, what's on the menu this evening here is self-appreciation and also self-worth in finding that structure and finding the hard work in not compromising yourself. But, believing in your truth, believing in yourself that you are worthy. I sometimes doubt myself. Well, not sometimes, I doubt myself all the fucking time. I question myself all the time. I think it's very healthy. I think that we get lost when we don't, when we disagree with ourselves constantly. Sometimes we're our own yes man or yes woman, whatever that is, and we don't necessarily hold ourselves in check. We don't hold ourselves accountable for the greatness that we're actually capable of. And then we get lazy, and then we get complacent. And then we start to blame it on others. We start to blame it on our partners because we're not truly happy with ourselves. And why is that? It's because we stop caring almost. It's because we stop putting in that effort. It's because we stop showing up for ourselves. And again, this happens to me all the time, and I'm sure it happens to you out there, and that's fine. But as long as we acknowledge it, as long as we can start to build from that, as long as we believe that we are capable of the change, then we can make it happen. But what is it that we want? times like these, I've talked about it, it's finding these passions, finding that little glimpse of happiness right now within the sorrow, within the bullshit that's going around, that's swirling us. It can surround us and it can start to bring us down because it is a heavy energy. Let's be real. The shit that's going on in the world right now can be very heavy, if it's not necessarily affecting us right in our face, but it can be affecting our loved ones. We span people all around the world, all around the globe. With this digital age, we have this connection and it's right at our fingertips, but there's also that lack of connection as well. There's that lack of accountability for actually showing up because we are hiding behind screens. We're not face to face, or we're hiding behind a piece of fabric, whatever it is that we are hiding behind, or necessarily we're just hiding from ourselves. We're losing ourselves every single day. And I think that it's important that we actually find this passion again. I think it's important that we find that truth so that we can, almost better our friends and our families around us. Be able to pick someone up is a great, feeling would be the most basic term that you could describe it as. But, it's almost limiting ourselves if we're not capable of lifting up our friends, if we're not capable of lifting up our partners. When we have that extra energy, when we have that extra drive, we need to share that. We need to put it out into the world. It's, it's like, say we're a battery, it's like, how long are we just going to continue to store it and store it and store it? No, you need to actually expend that energy so that you can bring it back in, so you can able to recharge those batteries, so to speak. So you're able to put that energy out into the universe so you're capable of bringing it back in. I think it was Tesla battery today or some shit like that. I saw a bunch of things going across the internet, but yeah, be a Tesla battery. Put those lily pads out just like this, put it up to the sun and recharge yourself. There's energy all around us. But why is it that we seem to shut it off? Why is it that we seem to kind of shudder away almost when when we're needed most? I'm not necessarily saying that's you. I'm speaking from personal experiences. I've shut off when people have needed me. I've kind of coursed away. I've kind of turned my back on individuals when they needed me, but that was because I couldn't handle the pressure as well. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take the situation that they were going through. I couldn't take the situation that I was going through. But sometimes you have to face those fears. You have to stand up with your brothers, with your sisters, with your lovers. You have to stand up with them, but you have to stand up for them as well. Stand in your truth, stand in your power, as hard as that may be, as hard as we may feel lost at times. But that's okay. That's life. It's always evolving. It's a never ending. I just watched the Never Ending Story Part 2. That shit was trash. Never Ending Story 1 was way better. Why did they actually change the actors in that? It's so weird. It's so weird.
What movie?
Never Ending Story 2. They changed the main character. And it's like that. It's things that don't make sense in life. You have to call it for what it is, and that's some bullshit. And I hope that you call people out in your life when it doesn't make sense. If there is wrongdoing, if there is injustice in your life, call that out.
Never Ending Story 2 with the little weird bauble,
it was trash. I fell asleep.
I actually liked Never Ending Story 2 better.
Yeah, right.
Because of, if I remember right, there was the machine that had the thoughts of people, right? And then it was every time he did something or whatever, yep, the thoughts would disappear, right, in that little machine bubble.
Every time they made a wish.
Every time he made a wish. Ooh. I'll be honest. Okay, I like the Never Ending Story 1. I just can't stand that kid.
In number 1?
I just don't like the kid in number 1. The way he's just such a pansy, and how he's up
Well, that's what is the point of it.
Exactly. That's why I liked Falcor and Atreyu.
Yeah, Atreyu was dope.
The only two I like are Falcor and Atreyu. Billy Crystal, I didn't even like his character either, as the weird. Or am I thinking of now I'm thinking of when he was the weirdo in Princess Bride.
Yeah,
but
which I just watched also. That shit's fire.
Same kind of character though. I just remember I liked Never Ending Story 2 better. The whole landscape thing was different, and I don't know. It just felt so depressing, Never Ending Story, than number 1. Just being up in that attic and reading that book, and then the nothingness is coming, the nothingness. And there was something about like somebody tricking the kid with the whole wishes, right? Wasn't there like a bad guy?
That bird creature.
That's why I liked it. You know what? I forgot about that. All I remember as a kid is there was like a little bubble like that had like little like, it looked like a bingo thing of like how I'm doing this right now. I'm fucking feeling like I'm fucking pulling bingo for everybody fucking right now. Like, who's the next fucking sign? What did you want to... everybody look on their cue cards and see what sign you are by your birthday, and it's Cancers. Who got Cancer? Ding, ding, ding. Only 1 out of 12 people. Or if you have Cancer risings. I would have been, you know what? It's not over. My life ain't over. I could be the most famous bingo fucking person ever, but I'd have to be Better Call Saul. He is the man at bingo. Saul Goodwin. Let's see what's going on, Cancers. I know it's major time. We don't even need, I know I have to say it every week, but you have the big 3 in your relationship house. Hasn't happened since 1284. Now the sun's in Libra, your emotional house. Oh, it's going to get really intense now emotionally. And you're in cardinal energy, and you're a cardinal sign. So all these planets are making aspects. And what is the one sign? Capricorn, Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto. What is Mars Retrograde and Chiron and Aries and Lilith all in Aries. And then we have the sun and Mercury in Libra. They're all looking at Cancer. So you're being looked at very intensely right now, Cancer. You pulled the Hangman reversed. You no longer have to go through the shit in your life anymore, Cancer. You can remove yourself from anything that is just no longer good. You've gotten enough. You've felt stuck long enough. It's time to take yourself off the noose, and get off of it. Like, get out. I always used to play Hangman as a kid when you always used to pick, a word.
Skipped Aquarius? Am I confused right now?
Oh, we were doing Aquarius, huh? Well, we're going to go with Cancer, and then we'll go back to Aquarius. And the universe has all these crazy signs going on. Aquarius definitely, that means they have a very intense reading coming up. But Cancers, you don't need to keep... You used to play that game, Hangman. Put in a word, you guess the word. You've been guessing the wrong words long enough, or the long letters for the word. And, are you going to hang yourself here? Wow, yeah, the downcast pride. I think that's a lot of your issue is, you're accepting what you don't really have pride for. And it's if you do have pride for the free life that you want to have, or not being in situations you don't want to be in, I don't know. It's you're not putting that extra pep in your step. Or maybe somebody's not allowing it and you're finally free to have it, but there's definitely been the, kind of the downplay of your pride in yourself here. And you did pull the 7 of Wands reversed. This means it's you don't want to even fight for the position. Maybe that's good. Maybe you giving up on the fight and seeing if the other person will fight for it is a better thing. Or maybe you're not just putting any energy into anybody right now, and that's an issue for the single Cancers out there. I say relationship Cancers have a lot of... We're going to have to get deeper in this reading. Wow, you pulled the Icarus card. Icarus. It's time to take the biggest, most radical, most hair-biting ride of surrender to the universe and let go ever. And it's got dramatic energy to it on the most extreme, and trusting as you rise to spirit world the truth instead of holding the pride for not wanting to take that ultimate risk to the higher realms of a better situation, better life. You pulled the Ace of Swords upright. It's you're very clear. This is a very fresh new beginning. So fresh that it's flying. So fresh and so clean. And it's so clean to freshen yourself. There's really nothing to hold you back except you to hold back yourself. I think that you've been setting the tone straight and the ultimate risk is scary, I know, but takes you to the ultimate places. Oh, well, I'm actually going way out of order now. Hold on. The star card came for that 7 of Wands. So it's like, yeah, this is not wanting to fight for anything, and you're kind of like in this like renewal state, and where's the universe going to take me next? And you pulled the Grand Cross, the provoker. This is like two different, this is very interesting. I would say that the Hangman reversed and the 7 of Swords reversed are both like, I don't need to fight. I don't need to be stuck. And then you got these two great cards, the Ace of Swords and the Star card. Like this is new environment, new stimulation, and like listening to the universe. But your challenge is this provoking to get to this amazing, like high risk. If you look up your cards, like, you know, like it is high risk, it's scary, and it has potential to go wrong. But that's the only way that you can get up to the highest of highs. And it's even crowned. And but it's like this, it's like this provoking of taking a risk and not having enough pride to do it is causing you to be kind of like, okay, I'm surrendered, but I'm not surrendered enough to take a risk. So you're in a complete hanged man because of that, even though you're not. So that's what makes this so weird. That you are stuck, because when you get a Grand Cross, which it's so funny, I started this whole reading about, you know, how all these planets are actually T-squaring to cross into Cancer here. This is where you feel extreme pressure and stuck, and it's to get to the ultimate place, but it's like a diamond that is built in pressure, and whether or not you're ready to build a diamond or not is up to you, or just stay in Pressureville and blow out a hemorrhoid. The moon in Scorpio in the first house, your deep needs, wants, desires, pleasures, passions are all that you need in life, and it's defined in exactly what that is, and you need to learn to emotionally receive that instead of emotionally keep blocking that. So Aquarius is next. What did you say about that?
I would say that it is a continuation of blocks. You know, I have to say that it is working through those as well, you know, and finding that true essence of your life. You know, I think that we put up these blocks kind of intentionally, maybe not even knowing it, but, you know, but our subconscious is putting them up intentionally, so that kind of holding us back from these fears, or holding us back, trying to like safeguard us from being let down, when in all reality, we need to experience these letdowns. We all need to experience the greatness as well, but that's only going to come from taking down those shields and working through any traumas and working through ourselves to actually find that truth, to find that power within the relationships that we're searching for.
Yeah,
That's
I would
what
agree.
think.
And holding on to blocks sucks.
Yeah.
Aquarius now.
All right.
Yeah, because we did, yeah. I went to go take a urination, and that urination made me forget about Aquariuses. I disconnected from Aquarius. Welcome to what it feels like, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on with you, Aquarius. I mean, you know, Libra time is not a bad time. It's air sign, but, you know, lots of new possibilities. What's going on with your love life here? You did pull the Judgment card reversed. So, you know, relationships without meaning are worthless. And, you know, I think that at the same time that you have even judgments about situations that need to be more looked on, that you're almost avoiding. Like, I don't know. And I think that you're also not rising to the calling in your romantic life fully. So maybe your partner's not happy with you. Maybe they're like, what the hell are you not, like, you're not showing up. You might be feeling like you're, and maybe you're dating and you're kind of, people are like, are you really there? Or maybe you have a lot of judgments on other people right now, which I would say remove those judgments, because it's almost like you're dealing with partners who don't have judgments, and they're helping you reflect to see how many judgments you have. Well, you did pull the to be or not to be card, the perchance to dream. A little Shakespearean energy going on. And, you know, I'll be honest, it's like you don't even know what you want. If you want it or not, to be or not to be, that is the question. You did pull the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. You are stopped on the journey. You're not moving forward at all physically. Like you're actually blocking allowing good things to happen. You're like, I don't know if I really want it. It's almost like you haven't even tasted what you like or not. You're like making all these judgments before you're even seeing what it's like. You're just like enjoying the stop journey of like being suspended in a place of nothingness and nowhere. You pulled the Emperor. You need to take advantage of the the identity and what you want in your life. Like, you can't just hang back. If things have shown up that, you know what, you're not like happy with, then fucking do something about it. If you're feeling empty and like nothing's going anywhere and you start judging everything, like, you're never going to be anything but a judge instead of a judge. And that's not a good thing to be in a relationship. You want to empower yourself. Emperor is from empowerment, the empowerment to be able to do it all and to be revered and wanted by people, not elected, not given by blood, but by inspiring others, by stepping into your true, authentic, and powerful self. The reason why the Judgment reverse came is the Empress. I think that maybe this is like this calling, because the Judgment card is about a calling that's higher than yourself. And how funny that the Judgment in this one is a Barbie doll that's like on a criminal, what would you call it? Picture? Wow, is Barbie really 6'6"? Dang, girl.
Whatever, mugshot.
Mugshot, yeah, dang, she's tall. I would say that the meaning and the purpose is to build something so beautiful and so great. But if you don't have purpose behind a relationship, and if you don't have putting a meaning behind things, well, you're never going to ever create the ultimate empress that you can be and that you can have and that you can express. So it's almost like, you know, kind of like if you're in a relationship, kind of in an AI bot situation. Like, okay, there's meaning, but it's like just to like, say, good night, sweetie, and here's your dinner, or here I made you dinner, or I'm going to work, or I don't know. Or if you're single, it's kind of like, I don't really know what the purpose is, and you're kind of stuck on this journey of still evaluating your values and stuff, and maybe judgmental values that are kind of pushing people away. I think the Empress is showing up to say, we don't need to push people away, or else we're never going to have the good shit. You did pull the Ten of Swords or upright with that Knight of Pentacles. So I would say that, you know, a lot of this is the same pattern and story, that you feel stuck and you're not moving forward, and that needs to change. Like, this needs to break the cycle. And I think that's only through empowerment, and through the empowerment and seeing and tasting, or getting to the very bottom of, is it to be or is it not to be? It's not a question. It is or it isn't. Your overall card that you got is the Taurus card. If I have your ultimate values, the physical touch, the nature, if you can't have all those things and that's not showing up, and the value in yourself and the value of somebody else showing up, and then you don't want to accept it, then you're never going to have anything. And if you're not going to, you know, if you're not going to also give too, right? In the sense of like from what you have, and share from what you have of your truth and the ultimate essence of how you want to build and create things, then nothing's going to happen. And it's not going to be that great of a story. I think that, you know, it's not that bad. I just think that, well, with this Mercury and then coming into Scorpio, like, I know that there's a lot of pondering going on right now, but I think that it doesn't have to be so much pondering when it comes to moving ahead into physically seeing, is it yes or no? And making decisions in your life of yes or no. The Sun in Gemini in the third house. Yeah, you're all over in your mind. Your environment is changing like intense, but communication is the number one thing in the most extreme way. This is going to be a lot of communication coming to the surface and coming to light, and the environment being extremely clear. I think that you've been pondering over situations, that you've had lots of curiosities, and you've been continually kind of doing your own investigations. Well, all the information is going to come to light, and what are you going to do with it this week?
Right. I think the time is done for asking the questions. I think it's time now to actually like compute those questions, so to speak. You know, you've gotten the answers that you need, but are you actually going to process it? Are you actually going to let it? Or are you just going to continue to ask questions like, oh, is this going to work out? Am I that? Are you down or you're not? Are you in or you out? You know, it's time to make those decisions and actually act on them. You know, can't just continue to be stagnant. Act on the answers that you've received. Take them for what they are. That individual is who they are, and you know that truth.
Yeah, because when you sit on the fence, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall and had a horrible fall. This a fall if you're in a partnership or by yourself, you know, and who's going to be around to want to pick you up all the pieces? That's Aquarius' number one issue, is nobody's around to pick up the pieces when Aquarius go through breakups. So when Aquarius goes through breakups, There's nobody there to help them because they don't show up when they're in the relationships for other people a lot at all. But when they're single, they do. Oh, yeah. But then we all go through the whole, okay, we were best friends and now you're fucking gone. And then you want to call me 10 years later. Now you're my best friend. That shit happens a lot. But you know, we don't hold it against you. We don't hold grudges, Aquarius. We really don't. We love our aquas very much.
Yeah, we love them so much.
Love 'em.
Aquas out there, we love you so much.
Three left. It looks like we got Aries, Leo, and Taurus. So, I think Virgo's in it. Or it's Aries. It's Leo, Virgo. It's Leo, Virgo, Taurus. Okay. Last three. We got the moo-moos. We got the cows, baby. We got the bulls. Running of the bulls. Taurus got the smoke. They got the Johnny Carson reading. Although he was actually, oh, no, he's coming up. He was October 23rd. Let's go, Taurus. Let's see what's going on. You did pull the Six of Pentacles upright. Seriously? Is this what I got? I've been doing all this stuff. I'm your beautiful kid, and this is what you gave me? You want me to be the maid in the house? So here's a fucking vacuum? Taurus, is the exchange fair in the partnerships that you're choosing right now, are you showing up with enough to get what you want back? So the question is, if you're not getting what you fully want from a partnership, it's because, well, what are you putting in? In this case, the daughter's kind of grooming herself to be the maid of the house. Do you really want to be that? The old maid? I just channeled that, the old maid. Huh. But are you really putting enough in is the question. I think with the sun in the sixth house, you know, your life and how you define it right now, and with the squares, all the Capricorn, your ninth house, your beliefs have to be really looked at very intensely. You did pull the black flower fragrance. I always say that this card's about like issues with like how you're attracting in the energy that you really want. Like maybe it's not the typical way that you think it is, right? Like maybe it's like attracting from showing up with things that maybe that aren't physical or sensual, but from like what you're gonna be in a fair exchange with as far as like the values and the qualities that you have as a person and what you have to offer as a person, not just like physically speaking. You did pull the Two of Pentacles reversed. So overall, I think you're gonna stop this kind of in between which world you're in. Look at how funny this is. A lion with a sun and a moon, and they're swirling in infinity. Like, I think that you keep juggling back and forth emotionally and consciously what's happy, what's emotional in your life. And, you know, anything where you're juggling right now, the emotions, like, it's time to end that. It's time to stop trying whatever. I'll be honest. I think this black flower fragrance is like, you'll try fucking anything for it. Like, you know, like, and it's like, that almost comes across as desperate. Pulled the Strength card reverse. It's because you don't have. You have to realize that you have some inner strength issues going on. I mean, I understand Mars is retrograde in your 12th, so you feel extremely vulnerable, and it's opposing all this sixth house. And I would say that, you know, you just need to remember and show the greatness of who you are. You're a Taurus. You're fucking the bomb.com. Remember that. And you got to like remind people of that by not saying it, but by just offering it and showing it. Like sometimes the bull just goes up and picks up, you know, a trailer and starts pulling it and goes, yeah, like, look what I can do here. And, you know, you did pull the Two of Cups reversed. I got a feeling that there's a lot of Tauruses out there that have either entered a relationship or they've been perceiving to enter a relationship, talking about it with somebody, or they've gotten into one. And I'm picking up, this is a lot of people who've gotten into them lately. Or they had an opportunity and they ditched it. And it was a lot because maybe that person, didn't show them exactly what they wanted. It's because you didn't show up the way that you needed to. I feel that you've kind of missed a soulmate connection here. I feel that there's a lot about soulmates for you right now, and it's all about, like, you're kind of all over the place. Two of Pentacles reversed, Strength card reversed. The kind of do anything, and then when it comes to you, then kind of not show up, and then of course people aren't going to show up. Seriously? This is your whole thing. Like, seriously? Oh yeah, we're all saying the same thing, Taurus. Like, seriously? Two of Pentacles reversed. You got the Justice card. Yeah, it's time to find the equilibrium here. It's time to find also the ultimate truth. Like, define where you're going to be. Like, I think that you have become so all over the place. Like, are you going to wait for the courts to define that? Are you waiting on something to define your life right now? Like, there's nothing worse than waiting for the courts to decide your life. I'm not saying that actually could be happening, although it could be. We are in Libra, but you define your life. Like, I think that you're hanging too much on the fence on situations that might not even be that great. I think you know what's great and you're too afraid to go there and do it. I think that you actually don't have the strength to show the real energy of the real soulmate energy, what you really got. So you're picking people who kind of don't have it, kind of be easy cases. I think you're picking the easy cases. And look at this, your overall card is the Mars. Yeah, you need to take action, take the force, and with Mars retrograde in your 12th, you're dealing with a lot of your own subconscious holdbacks of greatness and love. And you have to fight for that, and you have to fight through that, and you have to get rid of that, and you have to show the identity of who you are and what you want in order to get what you want. There's no other way. If you don't show it, you ain't gonna get it. So, your Astro Dice, Uranus in the 5th house, Sag. Wow, this is definitely good. I think that this is definitely going to be a different shift for you when it comes to how you perspect your love life going, and also the kind of stories that I think you were telling yourself about love are being shocked and changed. And there's a lot of, especially with that Two of Pentacles, there's a lot of just shifting going on here out of nowhere. There'll be a lot of major shifting. It's learning to go with the shift and go with the journey. And also connect to the real love story that you want that will take you to that place. But you've got to be able to show up for it, and you got to be able to be willing to take a risk, take a different chance. And also try, you might need to make a very weird diverting of course here. And in order to get to the real love story, because I feel that you diverted off a love story possibly that was true. And now you have to divert from a love story that you have to disconnect from to reconnect, because there's a lot of connection and reconnection here. Wow.
Yeah, don't settle for the worthiness you've programmed yourself to believe, Exceed that, exceed the limits that you put on yourself, break through that and actually go get what you want, use that strength. Like you said, the bull just kind of hooks up to the trailer and he pulls that shit, or she pulls that shit, tap into that strength, tap into your ability. Don't settle for just because you think that, this is the best that I can get. No, get what you actually want, get what you actually deserve in this life.
I agree. I think that there's, I don't know. There's just a lot. I feel like with Tauruses, yeah, you got to go for what you really want. Number one, I think they're afraid to actually go for what they really want. I don't think that they've actually, maybe they've had contact with that person or something, but I don't think that they've leaped yet. Right. Leo and Virgo last.
Leo and Virgo.
Well, it's Virgo's. They just had their birthday, so Virgo. I'll put myself last, but they popped up over me. The Virgos.
It's so funny because Anne was saying earlier, she's like, Taurus is always like usually last, or one of the very last ones. Did you notice that? I was like, yeah, I do now. I do now.
Yeah. Well, I have Moon in Taurus, and why do you think I'm always late? Tauruses are late all the time. Johnny, late all the time.
I believe that.
Let's see what's going on, Virgo. You did get the Ace of Swords up right. I am free of your bullshit. So this is definitely like freeing yourself into the real, like, angelic place that you want to go in your life. I think that this would be about past love situations. This also is entering into new, exciting situations. Really stimulating ones too. Like almost like you've pierced the bubble of the Truman Show and walked out the door. Especially with this Libra energy, your self-worth and, you know, but it's in question of like, can you own that? Because your challenge is the artificial heart. I would say that you've kind of held your heart in a very, very big container and almost like whether that's been damaged or, you know, I think that your challenge is dealing kind of with this artificial heart within yourself, even though here's the moment to not show up with that. Like, don't do that. That would be a challenge. There's a lot of heart issues here, even though you're free to move about the canvas. Overall, you pulled the Fool card, which is just go with the excitement of life. I love this Fool card. This is a beautiful one. It's like, this is just enjoy life as itself. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just, you know, with the second house scoring the fifth house in opposite to the eighth house, it's just about feeling and having and doing, like literally. Instead of the artificial heart doesn't use the heart, it uses the brain, or it uses a lot of other things except the heart. Like just come from the heart and just that you're in this exciting, new, stimulating place and go with the flow and have a good time. You did pull the Star card. This artificial heart is by a new start, by a new energy. Look at how much new start energy this is. Fool card is the first card. The Star card is where it comes after the Tower. Like you are at a beautiful new beginning. And I would say that this beautiful new beginning for you is getting rid of this kind of artificial heart energy that's been around you or that you've been going through in yourself deeply. And I would say that this is a beautiful moment for you. Why did you get that Ace of Swords? You pulled the Magician card upright. Wow, you are manifesting exactly what you've wanted, but it almost might be hard for you to believe. Look at that Ace of Swords and the Magician. I mean, you're definitely connected to your manifesting abilities and you're in alignment. I think you've had to do a lot of alignment work. And the Fool popped up because the reason why you've been afraid of the Fool and just being a fool, but actually it's not. The Fool actually, you'd be foolish to not just live your life and feel it, is you did pull the Nine of Wands in reversed. I would feel that you just haven't not known where to stake your claim, what to preserve, what to embrace fully. And you've been playing kind of this naive, like, I don't want to tip. You're not even dipping one toe into the water or even 1 foot. Like you're not even, it's like dip things into the water here. See what happens. You did pull, wow, you pulled the solar eclipse card, the revolution. Like you are at the biggest revolution, I'd say, in your love life in a long time. Holy shit. This is like the jackpot reading. Congratulations on this one, Virgo. I'll even pull you one of these cards. Why do we get that solar eclipse? Wow, you got the King of, I would say that would be Pentacles. Yep, coins. This is about manifesting the big change in your love life that you've always wanted at the highest capacity and having the abundance that you need and all that. Don't waste this one this week. You'd be a fool if you fucked this one up this week, Virgo. Holy shit. 8th house, Venus, Aries. Well, time to get intense and passionate and intimate with what you want. You know, attraction is everything in the 8th house with Venus. To attract what you want and define what you want, you have to learn to attract it in and not let your ego get in the way and allow your desires to lead the way here and not let, this is not about blocking your desires at all. This is about learning to define what they are and to, you know, I think that there's a lot about defining what it is that you want and making that so in the reality.
Yeah, and it's embrace that, you know, maybe, you know, you kind of get stuck in that, you know, that mechanical state, you know, just going through the motions, almost being like a robot, you know, and it's not needed. It's being guided by that passion, being guided by that love, being guided by what actually truly excites you, you know, and actually, you know, bringing that partner into it, whatever that may be, whatever that excitement is. You just got to kind of step from that robotic, you know. I don't know why I mean, stuck with that, but it's really like breaking out of the mold, you know, and creating that new life that you're capable of having, creating that new love that you have within yourself, and kind of guide by that, you know, guide by that.
Well, it is the last and most amazing sign in the zodiac, the Leos, with the yod on Venus in Leo, with Jupiter, Neptune. Ha ha! Sorry, everyone else. And it's Libra. The sun, the king's diplomat's time. Happy Libra season, everybody, and especially to Leos out there. I know I'm a Leo, so I'm a little bit biased for the Leos, but I fucking love you all fucking very much. I know that we're all the shit, and we're all kings and queens, and we all fucking love to love, and we are the representation of love, happiness, and fun, no matter what the fuck's going on. Keep being that way. All right, first card for Leos this week is the Hierophant upright. Oh, this is definitely the card of, especially in relationships, coming to more traditional aspects, finding the traditional. If you're in a relationship, this is strengthening the bonds of that, but it's got to have a spiritual connection, of course. It's also, you know, defined by traditions. So, this is definitely like trying to figure out the traditional aspect of relationships and, you know, really stepping into kind of a holier energy with it, and more of a, when it's traditions, it's also the traditions of actually showing up and like showing up to the same place, you know, showing up to the same energy. So this is definitely, like, I would say, if you're single, yearning for like real connection of like real partnership, relationship, not just fling. But also if you're in a relationship, this would be strengthening it or testing it to see if it's got that structure there and that spirituality there. The challenge here is the sacrifice. So you might be scared of this because you feel like you'd be sacrificing something in your life. I mean, we are dealing with big squares of the 6th house and 3rd house. So this would be just minor things that you're stressed about that you would be sacrificing. We have to realize that the change in reality would probably let go of a lot of the stress. So, you know, maybe that's sacrifice is necessary. I mean, I feel that maybe also, you know, as Leos and with Venus and Leo, like you might feel like you are doing more. And so you feel like you're sacrificing more, but how else do you be the sign that represents love? You're always going to feel like you're sacrificing the most. You're a Leo. 10 of Swords upright. So yeah, this is ending a lot of the same patterns. And I would say that a lot of these patterns have been this feeling of sacrificing to get the ultimate place. I think that it's about like, hey, it's always a sacrifice. Instead of it being a challenge, like love is a sacrifice we all make. Love is a sacrifice we make for, especially if we sacrifice to do it more of a more, you know, divine way, a divine guided way, or a divine, you know, as an ordained minister, it's like as seen by God, right? The way you get through that sacrifice is your intentions, you know, like setting the intention differently, getting out of the old patterns and setting an intention of, if you are sacrificing, maybe it's more of the intention of what you're doing and what is it that you're doing it, instead of looking at the sacrifice. Like, why are you even getting into it? Instead of sacrifice means that you're looking at kind of past energy that you're bringing into something, or you're looking at not the intention. You're looking at the opposite of the intention. And I think that you need to look at the intention for what you're doing and focus on the intention. Because when you're in love, or if you fall in love, or if you're in a relationship that's great, or whatever, that intention is that intention, not the sacrifices you're making. That means you're coming from a place where you don't want to be there. Because it's like, well, I've sacrificed all this. It's like, you know. 10 of Cups reversed. Well, I don't think that the ultimate love story that you want in your life will happen unless there is some sort of traditional element or some sort of deep connection that is got a godly or spiritual element to it. I think that this is not just about rainbows like that are just going to happen without putting in the work of showing up for a relationship fully. That rainbows are temporary, but the 10 of Cups reversed is like don't get overexcited of somebody or some situation or about your relationship that you're in if it doesn't hold the embodiment of a structure that is spiritual, that does have a beautiful element to it. That Ten of Swords popped up because of the King of Swords reversed. So you've made some... You feel stupid with like how you over-process in your mind love. There's a lot of over-processing. And this is what this third house is. This is what this Mercury in Libra is. Opposed Mars in your ninth house. Beliefs and thoughts. This is about getting back to the heart of the matter, the intention of the matter, not what you analytically looked at everything and what you sacrifice and analytically look at the same patterns. I mean, this is about just embodiment. That is what the Hierophant is, embodiment of the traditional aspect of the great love that is there. But it also needs a structure. The overall card here is the Part of Fortune. Well, Part of Fortune is definitely bringing the emotional increase here that we need. And it is bringing the increase of, you know, the intentions of what we want in our life. I think that we have to be clear and not just think everything's all roses, unless it's got a deep, deep purpose spiritually behind it. And I think that feeling dumb is going to be continuing to do the same thing over and over again and not try something different and new overall. Just like something needs to change. If you're in a relationship and it just, you keep trying the same thing over and over again, it's not working, it's because, I mean, you're going to feel stupid at this point. So the Astro Dice here is the Saturn in Libra in the first house. Wow. This is time to take the definition of what you want in relationships and start to define that and start to build that and build the structure of that. And if it's something that you don't want, then you make a choice on that. If it's something that you do want, you make a choice on that. And you have to start to define what it is that you want and what you don't want. And you have to do that from an exalted position, and you have to weigh it out, and you have to be the judge in yourself, and you have to actually execute it. So this is about executing some structures and plans about the relationships and what you want in your life, and also saying no to the ones that you don't want and yes to the ones that you do.
Yeah, because like you said, you know, sacrificing is a part of relationships, but as long as you're not sacrificing who your true self is, you know, as long as you're not compromising your authentic self, you know, then there's always, you know, that give and take when it comes to relationships, you know, but as long as you don't allow yourself to extinguish that flame, as long as you don't allow yourself to extinguish that passion that's residing within, that it's actually going to bring that spark, that love, spark that relationship, you know, so continue with that, you know, and that's all of us. Continue on this path, continue on that passion, continue loving yourself first, you know, self first is not selfish. Continue loving yourself, and that's so you are capable of loving another. And be kind. Be kind to yourself, be kind to those individuals around us. We're all going through messed up times right now, so just appreciate the weirdness, appreciate that breath, appreciate that sun and the moon and the beautiful skies above us, all right?
Boom. And make sure that you check us out on highvibe.tv. We have lots of content up and lots of new stuff coming out. And download, if you're on iOS, the new app. And we did a refresh on stuff, and especially the iPad app with the picture-in-picture. We also, what else do we got going on? We got, spiritual dance music from last week's up, and
Filming a new episode of Her Story this week.
Yeah, oh yeah, and watch Her Story. It's on highvibe.tv for free. If you download the app, it's a free app, remember. There's lots of free content. And my school, get all the classes. They're already done for you, and start watching the 90 hours of content, all packaged into one price. Go to highvibetvschool.com. Make sure that you get it right now while I've got this very, very cheap way to do it. And there's payment plans options by just going to highvibetvschool.com and clicking on Ride the Waves. We're all riding the waves. I like how Craig said it. We were all going through crazy times. And that also can mean for some crazy love and awesome love. But it also means that it could be people in some crazy relationships that they need to get the fuck out of too. I love you all very much. I know everybody here at High Vibe does. Do you have the last word, Craig?
Oh, you know, just let that freak flag fly, baby. Get out. Get out and get weird, baby. Let that sun touch your face. Get that vitamin D. 5,000 IUs, vitamin D.
Yeah, Deep Astrology tomorrow night, Wednesday night. You got to be on High Vibe, though, to watch that in its full form and live. So please join highvibe.tv so you can be part of that. I'm going to be going deep into the charts. Woo, this is going to get crazy. We got Saturn coming direct next week. Are you ready? Square Mars. Oh, my gosh. Battle of the Gods is available, too. Paid video section on highvibe.tv. It's $12.95, 4-hour plus horoscope about this battle that I'm sure you can see just already, just if you look out in the world. It's all closing in. Love y'all. See ya on the next Deep Love Tarot. Spread it out.
See ya.